Nintendo, why do you gotta let me down like this? Oh my god, the first time I was on board with you guys just seemed to let me down. Well, I know there are not many of you that are like big fans of the Nintendo Online service. I was fully on board with it when it first came out. I was super excited to play these NES games. That allows me to play online with a friend. I played ice hockey when it first came out with my buddy who's across the country. I'm in Italy right now. He's in the United States. We were playing that game like crazy. Along with the other multiplayer games on there. Twin B especially. That's a big one. But month after month, Nintendo keeps releasing these games, and they're missing every single opportunity to hit big with anybody. For the most part, anybody that's interested in these NES games are probably people like me who collect games, who buy physical cartridges. And so far, I think they've only released things that we already have. Like I have Legend of Zelda right here, Adventure of the Link, Lolo, Ninja Gaiden. The list goes on. We already have these games, and what's the point of having it on the online service if you don't put multiplayer games on it? They've released only a few multiplayer games. And I mean true multiplayer. It's not one person plays, another person plays, let's take turns, after I die, you play, that's not multiplayer. Multiplayer is like Twin B. It's like shoot 'em ups that we can both play at the same time. We're going through it. It's like ice hockey. It's games like that. And they haven't released those games. They've released games that people like you and me probably already own. So that's kind of disappointing. They missed a lot of opportunities. For shoot 'em ups, for instance, there's Half-Life, there's 1943. There's a lot more shoot 'em ups on the the NES that we can play multiplayer. There's some fun sports games that they missed out on. It's just depressing. It's very depressing. They haven't released any rare games. Release some rare games. You have Little Samson, Bucky O'Hare. Those are actually fun games. So why not release the expensive games? It makes no sense to me why Nintendo is missing every single opportunity for the NES Online, for people to actually like the NES Online. They just haven't hit that spot. But I may have lost faith in Nintendo. We'll see. But I am still going to take a look at the Adventures of Link and Blaster Master. Just like I've looked at the previous months. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of these two games. But without further ado, let's go take a look at the NES games for the online service that are coming in January 2019. Let's get to it.
First off, let's get into the Adventures of Link, or The Adventure of Link. So far, probably one of my least favorite Zelda games. It's probably because I played so many of the top-downs before I actually got a chance to play this one. In this one, Princess Zelda has fallen into an eternal sleep, and it's up to Link once again to save the day. You'll be collecting 6 crystals to wake up the princess in this game. It can't be easy. You can't just give the princess a kiss like in Snow White. You gotta go collect 6 crystals and risk your life. Gotta be so hard and difficult with this princess. But what's unique about the Adventure of Link is that 98% of the game is side-scrolling, with the exception of the overworld. Once you're in the overworld and you encounter some enemies, you're going to transition to a side-scrolling perspective. Here, you'll fight enemies, gain experience, and eventually level up Link, where you'll have the opportunity to raise some of your characteristics for easier play through the game. I have a really hard time talking about the Adventure for Link because I really couldn't get into it. It took me a long time to make any sort of progress. It's just not my type of game. I know there's a lot of people out there that really enjoy the Adventure for Link, so why not tell me in the comments why it's good and maybe why I should give it another shot. Maybe I'm just not doing something right. Let me know in the comments, and let's get to the next game. Now, I said earlier that I wasn't a fan of these two games. Not entirely true. I actually do enjoy Blaster Master. This game has a lot of things to enjoy about it. You play as King Gardner, who pilots the tank Metal Attacker, who sets out to planet Sophia to take on the Goez army. Blaster Master features multiple modes of gameplay that alternate as you progress through a stage. I'd say the majority of the game has you piloting the tank, but occasionally you'll come across a situation where you disembark and go on foot. When you enter these areas, it will change your perspective to a top-down. Here you'll progress in a dungeon-like area and eventually come across a boss, which once defeated grants you special items needed to progress on. All in all, it may not be the multiplayer games that I want, but this is a great game that if you haven't played, I recommend you give it a shot. As the releases come, I slowly lose more and more faith in the Nintendo Online. I have a long list of games that I think will suit the online library well, but with how things are going, I really don't think it's gonna happen. Now, is it possible Nintendo could release any NES games that would make you use the service more? Why don't you tell me in the comments so we can talk about it? But anyways, that's all folks. Thanks for watching. Do us a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.